I'm going to turn
off. Yeah, alright, I just hit record. I'm going to go ahead and start while this is affecting me as hard as it is. Welcome to the Pancake, welcome breakfast. Welcome to the first episode of, what is it called?
T.G.High.F.
T.G.High.F. I better put on my glasses. So I guess I'm just going to hold this recorder like this, and we'll see what the first episode sounds like. I'll try to remember to speak towards it.
What the fuck?
Do you remember the show? What was this? Wild and Crazy Kids? How did you get on a show like that?
Wild and Crazy Kids?
Yeah, do you remember that?
No.
Oh.
Was it a Nickelodeon show?
Yeah, it was.
Like one of those gack ones where they gack you?
It was like they were outside doing different sports. There was like 3 or 4 different colored teams.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. No, I do remember this. Okay, yes, I remember Wild and Crazy Kids.
And I just thought that I would get on that show because I was a kid. I was like, it's got to happen to me eventually. Mm-hmm. Like, they'll come to our school one day and recruit kids, and I'll get to be on Wild and Crazy Kids.
Was it actors?
I don't know, I guess. They seem like very enthusiastic children. It would be funny if they just took random kids and had no clue how they'd react. Some of them wouldn't have any clue what to
do. Just homeless kids. The homeless kids they can find.
So we are on an episode. It must be an early episode of Step by Step because the nanny or whatever is still in it.
It's the pilot. So I think we're going to start with the first episode of Step by Step, Family Matters, and then Full House.
The first episode, or for the first steps. The first episodes of each?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why the fuck is the sound...
I don't know.
What is going on here? So the sound on this episode is...
Excuse me, everyone.
Sounds like it's coming through a fucking microphone screen in hell.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. They're starting off cereal. We were just talking about cereals. Let's see. What do they got? Sugar Flakes? That's obviously for... Oh. And if you're watching along, we just saw a real tragedy.
One of the younger siblings ate all the cereal.
Indeed.
So they're in a shitty apartment. This is before the families hook up. This is like before they Brady Bunched.
That's what it took me like... It wasn't until like 2 years ago. Let's turn it down actually a little bit just so I feel like this might pick up that more than we think.
Sorry, the sound on the show is all fucked up, so we're trying to figure a good level.
We'll just have to kind of... We know 90s sitcoms well enough to know what's going on without hearing the dialogue all too well. We can tell. Each storyline. Oh, that was a great visual gag. Very stoned right now. What are we talking about?
I don't know. I'm stoned too.
Like you said, this is before they Brady Bunched. So we saw his house at the start, and now this is her house.
And her house is their house.
I was wondering why I didn't recognize the house.
So he was the one who moved up, because obviously they were in a shit apartment.
Yeah.
She's doing well.
Yeah. Man. It wasn't until a few years ago that I realized that this is supposed to be like a 90s Brady Bunch.
Yeah, like a weird kind of reboot.
Yeah, and it's like slightly edgier, I guess. But the Brady Bunch had like sex references too.
Yeah.
Where like they'd show the parents in bed and then like they'd start kissing and then it would be like the audience would be like, woo.
The sheets would go up, yeah.
And then they'd cut off and be like, oh, well, okay, they're fucking. But
Mr. Brady's getting laid.
Has Suzanne Summers come out yet as like some sort of right-wing crazy? Has that happened yet? Because I feel like she's ripe for it.
Well, I feel like she went crazy before, didn't she? Because she did that plastic surgery shit and fucked herself up, I think.
I don't really remember that. I remember...
Spun off into the universe.
I remember she got obsessed with some sort of exercise machine.
Yes, I remember that as well in the 90s, or early 2000s, I guess.
Man, this is kind of your situation, having your house attached to your work.
I forgot they did
pretty
this.
Close to
honestly, I haven't watched the pilot of this show in like 20 fucking years.
Man, I went to this reminds me of the day before I went to court when I was 18. I got arrested for marijuana possession. My mom was like, you have to go to a barbershop and get your hair cut. Because I had really long hair at the time. Well, it was more bushy. I have really thick hair, so it was really bushy.
And you got curly hair too, so it froze.
Big white boy fro. And my mom was like, you're not going to court like that. You got to go get your hair cut.
Look representable.
I go to downtown Richmond to go to a nice barbershop. The couple places I went to, it was like way too long of a wait, or they were booked up or whatever. So I go back into Chesterfield County where I grew up, and I go to the hair cuttery, and a woman very much like these women here gave me the worst haircut of my life, where when I sat down, she literally said, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with hair like this. And I was like, I just need it to be shorter, you know.
That's who you want cutting your hair, is when you sit in the chair, they're just like, what the fuck is
exactly.
this?
So I was like, just, make it short on the sides and in the back, and then slightly longer on top.
Yeah, just don't screw me on this.
A modern haircut for a man? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
They're $8 at fucking Great Cuts. Just do what they do.
You know what she fucking did? She trimmed the sides, but left that she did not cut the top of my hair or the back at all.
So she gave you the Patrick Mahomes
I had this
Mohawk fro.
Basically.
Oh, that's beautiful though. That's really popular right now. Not for going to court, I don't think, when you're a kid.
It looked ridiculous.
Especially on a marijuana charge, because they're like, this kid got high and cut his own hair.
My mom spent like 30 minutes the next morning trying to comb my hair and shit, just making it look decent. When I came back, she was like, no. And I was like, I paid for the haircut, got my hair done.
I did what you told me to do.
This is what they did. She was like, you have to go back and get it fixed. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going back there. It's crazy.
Okay, hold on, because this just developed, and I just figured something out from one line of dialogue. Because these two characters are making out and shit, and this is the first time we've seen them together. It's Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Summers.
I was going to call him Mike Duffy. I think I must have grown up with him.
And I remember this from being a kid, is they haven't told the kids they're dating yet, and she cuts his hair, and that's how they met. So she's been cutting his hair for like 3 months, and now they're finally hooking up, and I think they're talking about like getting the kids in on it.
They always made it seem like she was much classier and stuff, but she runs a beauty salon, and he's like a construction worker.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that different in the white person scale of things.
Well, hold on, because wouldn't he make more money than her though? Because construction workers do pretty well. I guess he does have 3 kids.
He seems like a foreman as well. He doesn't seem like he's a rough and tumble welder or anything.
Yeah, he's living in like a shithole apartment, and she's got like a 4-bedroom double layered house. What the fuck is that?
I'm thinking that probably on the construction site, he's walking around telling other people what to do.
Exactly, yeah.
He's tilting his yellow glasses down and looking at stuff.
He's not the dude
sure
walking the tight wire up top. Let's be real.
I worked construction for 4 days before quitting. It was the worst 4 days of my entire life. So far.
What did you construct?
So it was the company that I worked for before I moved here, APV, which supplies metal and wood doors and metal door frames for like schools and hospitals and shit. But my dad got me a job to make more money for my trip to Amsterdam. He got me a job actually with the company installing doors in a new hotel. So it was supposed to be... make sure we're still recording here because I have no clue how much time is on the card. Yep, we're good.
Okay.
So I was supposed to work there for 6 weeks. My first day was one of the fucking worst days of my life. I immediately... getting thrown into a Virginia construction site.
Oh yeah.
All of the porta potties just covered with like back and forth racist graffiti, like people talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
It is like crazy. Just going to the bathroom is like a super stressful experience.
Mm-hmm.
The first time my 2 coworkers, Danny and Brandon, picked me up, one of them said one of the most racist things I've heard in my life, which I won't repeat on the podcast. But it was like when he said it, it was just shocking to me. And
it's jarring because you're like, oh, you feel this way.
So for those and on like the second day, we were all sitting there eating lunch, and they were like, "Why aren't you eating?" And I was like, "I'm just not feeling that good." And I didn't want to be like, because I'm a vegetarian. You guys,
and get reamed out by these assholes.
Exactly. It was like we went to Arby's, and I'm not like, there's no way I'm telling you guys I'm a vegetarian. So I just wouldn't eat lunch on these construction work days that I was there.
Where you have to eat when you're doing manual labor. If you don't know this, then you haven't done enough manual labor. If you don't eat, your body betrays you.
I started taking stuff and hiding it in my pockets, and when I would go into the bathroom in the porta potties, I would eat the snacks that I brought.
Into the Civil War era porta potty.
Christ. So it was the middle of August. It was hot as shit, and like even though we were inside a currently being built hotel, And usually in the basement, like the dark basement, it was still so hot and muggy down there.
Jesus.
It felt like hell. We would start at 5:30 in the morning, and it would just already be so muggy in this place. And it would be with these two assholes I was working with, and they were having me lug around these huge metal doors that I couldn't quite pick up. And
You're hangry and tired.
They would do stuff like leave me with 50 doors, a box of hinges and a screw gun, and like some kick plates, and be like, we'll be back in 2 hours, have all these done.
Nice.
And then they would just walk off, and I'd be like, what do you mean have them done? Like, have all of them installed completely, have all the hinges and kick plates put on, like, what the fuck am I supposed? And they would just walk off and be gone, and I was too young and fucking
timid to be what? What exactly do you fucking mean?
Exactly.
No, that's how I am. I need direction at a new job. You need to tell me exactly what you want so I can do that for you.
So by the second half of the first day, other people from other companies on the construction site had figured out that I'm like completely inexperienced and timid, and they're starting to fuck with me.
Yep.
So one guy comes up and he sees that I'm struggling to do something with one of the doors, and he goes, here, I'll help you with that. And he puts it in place with me, and I screw the door in, and I'm like, thanks, buddy. And I like pat him on the back, and then he pats me on the back, and he goes, that's $25. And I go, very funny. And he goes, it's 20. I work for $25 an hour, and you just took an hour from me. I go, that took 5 minutes. And he goes, I'm rounding
round up, yep.
You owe me $25. And then one of his coworkers walked by and was like, leave him alone, man. And he was like, no, this guy owes me. I was like, what are we, in prison?
Yeah.
Are you fucking extorting
What about
me?
a pack of cigarettes, bro? Will you leave me the fuck alone?
Christ.
No, it's... what's that thing where you're just in that fucking... that group dynamic with a bunch of douchebags, and douchebaggery just runs fucking rampant.
Yep. God, I hated it.
And you're the greenhorn, so they fuck with you. It's the same thing where I grew up with logging, and it's just like, Jesus Christ. Wouldn't you rather have this dude that might die out here do his job correctly?
Yeah.
Instead of fucking with him, get your $25. All right, so back to the show.
Yeah, let's figure out what
it says their house now with her crossed out, and they just had a picnic, which apparently brought the family together.
I see.
But of course, they're going through the regular sitcom dynamics where the kids don't really get along because they're all polar opposites.
Yep.
One family's white trash.
I was always so attracted to that blonde girl in the...
See, I love the other girl. So that's
She looks very Kelly Kapowski-ish.
No, not her. The other, the sister on the other side, the white trash girl. This is the tomboy.
Gotcha.
Ow, that's her name in the show.
Oh yeah.
And she did a movie with Paris Hilton later in her career called The Hottie and the Naughty, where she played the naughty, but she's way hotter than Paris Hilton. Let's be real. Like, I can't believe she didn't have a bigger like modeling or acting career after this. She's beautiful. Paris Hilton looks like a Barbie doll that got crushed under a fucking 18-wheeler.
Look at those dope sneakers that the dad had on.
The 90s dad sneakers.
Yeah. Oh, they have a pig?
They're so white trash they don't even have a pet dog. They have a pet pig.
I would be so thrilled if my new step sibling had a pig. Had a pet pig. I'd be so thrilled.
The fucking 90s trope's the best. The prissy daughter just ran away upstairs.
Yeah. She's gonna hide from the pig.
Because of the cutest potbelly pig you will ever fucking see.
Yeah, it'd be so good.
It's weird. I feel like I grew up in this house.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, I know these rooms pretty well. It also looks a lot like that 70s show house, and I'm getting pretty suspicious right now.
The house I grew up in was sizable for sure, but like had a bunch of smaller rooms, and probably had like 8 rooms total. And I always wanted one of these big, sprawling 90s sitcom living rooms.
No, that's what I mean. I mean, I didn't grow up in a house like this. I mean, I feel like I grew up in this house because I watched every season of this fucking show as a child.
Yep, this was one of the...
It's like going back home.
One of the like 5 or 6 90s sitcoms that I definitely watched obsessively. Boy Meets World being one, obviously. Family Matters.
Full House was my favorite when I was like 5.
Why can't I know I watched Full House, but I don't know why I can't think of what happens in Full House. Oh. San Francisco. Danny Tanner and all that.
The story in Full House is depressing, and I feel like this one might be too. Like, is her husband dead?
What about his wife?
That's what I mean. It's like their exes don't come back into the picture. It's not like they were paying alimony.
Yeah, they must be deceased.
Maybe the mom ran off. If it's that white trash, then maybe the mom ran off on him. But I feel like the dad would have had to die on her.
Have they gotten married yet, or are they just still
I think
dating?
this is just them hooking up initially. Like, he just moved in. 3 months, guys.
Yeah.
Middle-aged people just don't waste fucking time.
But I feel like we're so much more loosey-goosey in the 90s, you know? Let's do an experiment where we have all of our kids live with each other in this house before we get married.
Well, you couldn't text each other, so like, I think you just had to move in.
That's true. How else were you going to communicate?
You want to be together all the time, you have to be.
Oh, I always was so jealous of their bench seats at their kitchen table.
Oh, yeah. That whole kitchen is dope. They have an island plus, like, a fucking picnic table as their kitchen table.
Oh, that was my go-to thing. My stomach hurts when I was a kid trying to get out of school. There was one time I saw in a sitcom where a kid punched themselves in the stomach to make their stomach hurt so they weren't lying. So then I did that in
To
elementary school.
alleviate the guilt.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
And see, what I would do is I would just run around all morning while my mom was sleeping, and then I would take my temperature and be like, I'm sick. I get real sweaty with it. Like, oh, I got a fever. It's like 102.
There was one time I started to feel sick on the way to school on the bus. So in the middle of like the first, this was when I was in like 4th or 5th grade. So I asked to go to the nurses, and when she's asking me what's wrong with me, I say something like, I think the bus fumes made me sick, because that's what I thought had done it.
Yeah, like the exhaust. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was like, she called my mom, and they put my mom on the phone with me, and my mom was like, the bus fumes didn't make you sick. Go back to class. Because I had just called out, like, fake sick like a week before that. So she thought,
okay. So she was onto your shit at that point.
So they sent me back to class, and by like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, my teacher was like, "You're green, like you look terrible. You need to go." And I was so sick for days. I was really coming down with something. My mom felt so bad.
I was gonna say you got that guilt trip, fucking that loving care.
I was sitting in class for hours just sweating, like I really don't feel good, but they told me I'm
fine. Yeah. Bus fumes can't make me sick, I guess.
This is really good casting that they did in this show, like the super thick hair of his little kid.
Oh yeah.
Like, what the fuck is the skin tone of this dude?
He's like, what's his last name? Duffy. Oh shit.
Well, this doctor's skin tone is like, if they show him again, he's got definitely a fake tan going on.
Oh, he's beat red. He looks like he's fucking been drinking for years and not stopped.
Just stopped choking him 5 seconds
Yeah,
before.
he's a little purple. Yeah, he might be close to death.
All right.
We're gonna have to
Got
look
it
this.
recording.
Boom.
So this is, are we on the pilot of Family Matters, or did you say that it was some other episode?
Oh no, so it just played the wrong episode, but this is the pilot.
Okay.
And this is the alternate intro song.
What the fuck? No way.
But watch this. Tell me it doesn't fit. Tell me it's not like perfect for this.
It seems like it's from like a dream where your mind is like, what would be the theme song for this? And it's like, what a wonderful world.
I just can't remember now the original theme song.
I don't know if
See right here, it kind of hits. Reginald Vell Johnson.
It's a great name.
All of these, okay.
Joe Mary Peyton France. Joe Marie Peyton France.
Rosetta Lenoir. It's Lenoir, I think.
French black people in the show? Like,
it's the Creole.
Darius McCrary.
McCrary. I always confuse him with Malcolm Jamal Warner. I'm just going to admit that racist shit right now. I'm terrible.
Oh. The guy from the Cosby Show. Kelly.
Yeah. Kelly Shania.
I don't know how to say that middle name.
This girl, Valerie Jones.
I don't see. It's so weird to see pilots where it's like,
a different actress.
This child must have disappeared.
Joseph Julius Wright. They all have great names.
Oh, this is so.
Thelma Hopkins.
This is so like just, I forget the phrase for it, but it's too sweet.
Yeah, it's
like,
sickly sweet.
It's sickly sweet. It doesn't address the fact that like.
God, this kind of a dramatic comedy.
Yeah, and like that the family has like arguments and shit that they're getting through their family matters.
Yes, exactly. The name is right on the nose.
Yeah, because they're dealing with family matters and family matters.
It's a double entendre.
Like any good sitcom, the name means two things.
The acting in the pilots.
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of actually fits the theme song better because he's acting super like cartoonish.
Yeah, he's like got a
Cartoonish
smile on
sense.
his. Wait, now he's mad. He's acting like a theater actor.
Yeah. I didn't realize till I was older that that's why I didn't like plays and stuff so much as a kid. I was like, because I watched so many movies and TV shows, and I was like, these people are overacting.
I'm the same way. I think of it as overacting, but I understand because they have to get more out of their acting than on like a TV show where you have like this big set that does a lot of the shit for you and a laugh track.
Indeed.
But no, it bothers me to this day. And I'm watching the dude and I'm like, he's like a theater actor. I'm like, it's not bad, but it's not for me.
Yeah. I didn't get those kids in school either, man.
They were always the really square kids.
For sure. Really into horses. There was one girl in high school who I had a crush on who was really into theater and like chorus and all that. And I asked her when I was trying to flirt with her, I asked her what her favorite band was, and she laughed and said, "I don't listen to bands."
What?
And I said, "What do you listen to?"
What do you
and she
got?
goes, "I listen to soundtracks of different musicals. I listen to, show tunes." And I
Holy
was like,
shit.
"What?"
So she was like from Pleasantville is what you're telling me.
I was like, "There are no bands you listen to?" She goes, "No, just,
Distortion is
tunes.
for the devil, Tyler.
It was crazy.
It's just like when people say they don't listen to music. I just have no reply. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'll see you later.
I need to listen to more music because for a while I was listening to like just podcasts. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's not good for you.
Yeah, I go in cycles where I kind of forget and then I have to juice up.
So let's see.
Spinach.
How many children do they have in the house in this pilot here?
Okay, so the sister is there with her baby.
I think there's 4. Okay, so there's the baby, then the little girl, then Laura, Eddie,
brother.
and the little boy. Is the little boy in this?
Not yet. I think the baby is the little boy. But is there another
right.
girl? Or am I confusing it with the actress that replaces this girl?
Oh, I forgot Eddie. We got little baby boy, we got Eddie, we got Laura, and
The girl.
weird little girl.
Yeah, that we don't know if she stays on the show or not. I think she doesn't. She may or may not have gone to porn at some point.
You remember that? Man, this feels like it's in such a different universe than like later Family Matters seasons. Like there's no Steve Urkel in the pilot, right? If I remember correctly.
I have no memory of the pilot, but he may not be in the pilot because he was not the focus of the show.
Yeah, exactly. It was just supposed to be about a
The
black
Winslow's.
middle class family in Chicago, not about the dorky fucking dude next door making corny jokes all the time. But I love Steve Urkel. But
of course, yeah.
it would have
we're
been
of the
really cool to
generation.
see like a good sitcom that wasn't the Cosby Show.
Exactly. Yeah.
that
especially now,
yeah.
when new things have come to light.
I still love this fucking show. What was I gonna say? Oh,
T.G.High.F, ladies and gentlemen.
T.G.High.F. yeah. There's your theme song. What was I gonna say? T.G.High.F. And it's like, if I had to put one thing as my memory of my childhood, it would be Friday nights watching T.G.High.F. Like either by myself or with a friend, laying on my like carpeted floor in my parents' living room.
No, yeah, that was like mine. It was like a family thing for me too, and it's like one of the only memories that I have of my family like getting together on one night and doing the same thing.
Like laying there drinking a huge cup of milk and eating 50 Oreos, watching fucking. Let's see. Oh, who's that? Oh,
Is it the sister?
yeah, but it looks like an old
Looks
sailor.
older than the grandma.
She looked like an old sailor man because it's kind of blurry. Couldn't see her face really.
They really did. They did a good cast. Wait, okay, so there is another little girl. Oh no, that's Lisa. Laura? Laura.
That's Laura, and then there's the other little girl that's not in. I think she's replaced with
Yes.
a different little girl.
And I think, okay, I need to figure out which one did porn. That's what I'm looking up.
That's the girl that replaces this little girl. Man, it must suck to not make it through the pilot of one of the most popular successful 90s sitcoms. Would have had a ton of money.
I know. How long is this show on? 7 seasons? 9?
Something
maybe?
like that. But those later seasons
9,
feel so
yeah.
divorced from this, where like, you remember when Eddie and Waldo move into the city?
Yes.
Like, I guess they live in the city here too, but in like, you know, downtown. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and they're roommates, yeah.
Yeah, the whole production felt different from this and everything. It felt like a completely different show.
I feel like that's what they try to do sometimes to keep it fresh on
Yeah, I
shows,
guess
where they
so.
add a new element, but like it didn't work with this show because I think didn't it get a little too like aggressive or something?
I don't really like it. It got weird, like with Steve Urkel, like inventing the machine to make him into
Oh
Stefan
yeah, he
Urkel.
started turning into like Bruce Lee and
Yeah,
shit.
it started to like turn into some really weird like. I can't think of the word for it because this is T.G.High.F. But
I've already forgotten what we were talking about.
it would be the episodes where Steve Urkel would go into his machine and turn into like really odd characters and stuff.
like Einstein and like
It was
yeah.
like very, not dystopian, that's not the word I'm looking for, but just like otherworldly and like oddly unsettling. They weren't fun sitcom episodes. They were very like, Kafka-esque. That's the word I was looking for. It was weird as shit.
Yeah, it definitely had like even his car, which I'm pretty sure might have been
Oh yeah.
like his car was this weird. It looks like a smart car to me. Like
Yep.
back then when I first saw a smart car, I was like, "Isn't that fucking Urkel's
I
ride?"
have like a hatch in the front or back that he would climb through to get into it.
yeah,
and then
and
shut it.
it's like just everything they did with that character. It was like it felt like another Screech from Saved by the Bell,
Oh yeah.
where they just
Yep.
they took it so far. 'Cause Screech like had a robot.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy for Screech to have a considering the roots of that show with the whatever Miss Bliss.
Good morning, Miss Bliss.
Good morning, Miss Bliss.
Also love Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, Screech never would have had a robot and Good Morning, Miss Bliss.
Exactly, and then it's like we're supposed to believe he's a genius in the first season of Saved by the Bell, and then he's like the dumbass dork. Like
Yeah.
there was really a lot of continuity errors in Saved by the Bell. I'm not pleased with.
That's one of those shows that I've seen every single goddamn episode of, and like, it would be so weird for me to see one I haven't seen at this point.
We can devote a whole episode. We
was
can devote an
obsessed with
entire
that
new
show.
podcast to Saved by the Bell. There's college years. There's a movie
I love the college years.
where they get married. The movie. Have you seen that?
Yep, sure have.
I think that's the
I was
end.
all about it.
There was a
all about
reunion
Saved
at
by
some
the
point,
Bell.
but Screech wasn't there, so we're not calling it a reunion. It was a
Man.
union.
I really thought when I was a kid that that's what high school. I was like, this is exaggerated a little bit, but this is basically what high school is going to be.
That's
like.
what I thought too. Like just a lot of good fun.
Yeah, it's like every day we'll go to like a restaurant that's nearby school. There's no restaurants close to my suburban high school.
Getting some hijinks.
I'm gonna
Piss off the principal.
drive 15 minutes to get to a Wendy's. That's the best. There's no Max on campus. It's a fucking high school. That episode where they're like doing the anti-drug commercial and they find the fucking dude smoking a joint in the bathroom. I'm like, what idiot pothead would just go smoke a joint like openly in a bathroom with other people
At
around?
fucking high school.
I think he'd find a better spot to go do it if he was going to try to get high at the event.
Go outside, man.
He'd probably just get high before and show up stoned, not smoke there.
I
Anyway.
mean, he was a star. He was rich. He probably could have just gotten an edible. Let's be real.
Man, that fucking show. Anyway, Family Matters.
Sorry, we got off on a tangent there.
Oh, there was one time at Oregon's Best, the first dispensary I worked at, where the manager told me to put something on the TV in the lobby because we would always play movies and stuff on Netflix. So I went on to, I hooked up one of the laptops to the, she looked so weird there for a second.
She's so small. She's like 13, 14 maybe.
If you're watching along, Laura just walked in the red pajamas. So my manager told me to put something on the lobby television. So I hooked up the laptop and I found a 13-minute, maybe we can find it at some point, like a 13, 15-minute long loop of the Family Matters theme song played at different speeds and then played backwards, played warped, played in all these different ways, and
Slow motion,
because
yeah.
it's only like what 40 seconds long probably.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's
Unless
like
there's like a real version of it, but I hate the long version.
yeah, and it was just a short. But so we're talking like 30 different plays of this 30-second theme song at different speeds and shit and weird and like
In a
weird
weed
distortions
shop.
to it. And I sat there and just waited to see how long it would take a customer to come up and ask what the fuck was going on. And it got about 6 minutes in before this redneck dude sitting there, older guy with a mustache and a trucker hat on, he stood up and waddled over to the window and he fucking slapped his hand down and go, "What is going on the television here? What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know what that is. I'll change it for you." I was like, so we got about halfway through.
Like, I probably enjoyed it for a couple minutes, to be real.
I can't now, like you said earlier. Now I can't remember what the actual Family Matters theme song sounds like.
And now I'm confusing it with the Full House one.
It started like that, I think. Is that now or is that Full House?
See, that's the thing. Is I can't differentiate at this point.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. Love and
the grand design. Some people say is even harder to find. Yeah, okay.
So then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle ones. Oh, I think it's inside these gentle ones. Maybe it's gentle walls. I don't know. Inside these gentle ones or walls.
We'll look it up later.
All I see is a tower of dreams.
Real love bursting out of every seam.
Days go by.
It's the greater love,
the bigger love, the family. That's a dope pink shirt he's got on.
Nailed that. We fucking nailed that.
We figured it out. We figured it out.
Also, yeah, Carl Winslow rocking a pink shirt, breaking the gender norms back then.
Indeed.
His shirt's pinker than his daughter's nightgown.
I was gonna say he's matching with his daughter. Oh, dope bolo tie, Eddie.
Thank you.
Dope bolo, love it.
His bolo
representing
and his
the
vest.
Really representing Southwest Indian culture here.
She looks like she's wearing like a North Civil War house proud dress. The grandma.
She does look like a school teacher from 1868.
Oh, I love her. I love the grandma. She sasses.
Yep.
She's the sass.
I think Eddie's haircut, his flat top might be a little crooked. I'm not sure.
I think you're right.
Let's see if we can get a better look
at
Eddie's.
Shot. The director's really screwing us on this. Oh, here we go.
Come on, Eddie. Let's see. I love that they put Reginald Bell Johnson into It's Always Sunny as the judge.
As the judge. And he's a cop in this. And that's the thing. Is it a continuation of the character or what?
I don't know. He's a cop in Die Hard, too.
And I don't think they ever said anything about his name. And yeah, that flat top is definitely like sloping forward.
Yep. He's wearing a blue vest.
A pleather vest.
Wait,
suede.
Some sort of silky...
I think it's suede. I want to say suede.
I wish we knew. Do you have any clue what the plot is of this pilot? We haven't been paying attention at all to what they've been saying.
So I think the issue is the grandma and the aunt are moving in with the new kid, with the baby.
Uh-huh.
And it's just interrupting the family matters of the family.
Now, see, this show must have better writing and more... like stuff explained through dialogue than step by step because
we couldn't really hear a fucking word.
We couldn't, but we knew what was going on.
Exactly, the entire time.
Yeah, we saw pigs, we saw people moving in a big truck. We knew what was going on, but this is much more, I think, dialogue based. I gotta respect that, even though it's been harder to follow.
Yeah, I definitely just had to kind of make assumptions here, but I think that's the issue. But just because I remember him kind of hating the grandma, right?
Oh yeah, he definitely. It's like in Dinosaurs. This is Dinosaurs is a dinosaur Family Matters.
Dinosaurs I loved at the same time as this too.
The dad looks similar to him. Mom
They're
is
the exact same shape, honestly.
Yep. Dinosaurs is just Family Matters set billions or millions of years ago.
With darker writing.
The pilot of the Dinosaurs is when.
The grandma moves in, right?
Dinosaur Carl is gonna kill Dinosaur Grandma.
Dinosaur Carl.
Also named Earl,
which is
his name's Earl, so close to Carl.
Okay, we need to find some shit out. I'm gonna look up to see if the writers are the same.
Oh, might be.
Because it could be a Berlanti thing where he makes one show and they just let him do the same thing over and over again with different characters.
People think I'm thrilled about this Alf reboot that just got mentioned. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Well, is it? Because I didn't read about it. I just tagged you in that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? the original people doing a like?
Oh, I don't know.
A
I haven't
reboot
read
or
about it either yet.
continuation, or is it somebody else just doing a new thing?
It's probably just like a attention-grabbing headline, and Alf is just going to be in some new sort of show, which has happened before. But the original sitcom is my favorite goddamn thing ever.
I've never watched the original. We're gonna have to throw an episode into
Indeed,
this.
for sure. We'll play my favorite one. I have a few favorites, but I'll pick one. I really love that goddamn show.
Okay, so this guy did not help with dinosaurs. Maybe the other creator did. Oh man, these guys' credits.
Carl is such a sweet boy. TM. He's like, I'm all grown up with a family of my own. And his mama is like...
Oh, it's his mom. Okay.
Yep.
I thought it was his mother-in-law. I thought that was the issue. I'm a little off,
I forgot. Yeah, I was thinking that too. But it is his mom. I forgot that.
Well, first of all, Harry and I have got to be able to run our own house.
Yeah, this is way harder to figure out than step by step. Step by step, I had that shit under lock and key.
Wish Bernie Sanders had gotten into the White House so we millennials could have houses like this one day.
Hey, we just can become capitalists. It'll be fine.
This nice back porch swing they got, and inside it was a great living room with the like 2-tiered steps.
I always love that when
Always
they have the
wanted that.
weird landing, but
Yeah.
it's like a viewing landing.
It's like every 90s sitcom has a fucking staircase set like that. I guess because you can't have one literally going straight up to a second floor.
It might also be the same exact set.
Oh, true. Yeah, putting on my vest, putting on my bolo, living in Chicago.
Getting ready for the square dance?
Name is Eddie Winslow. Oh, I just made a pretty good rap.
That wasn't bad, yeah. The rhyme scheme worked. What is he in the attic?
I don't know. He's up there with this grandfather clock, which probably is a symbol for the wisdom of time.
Probably holds their actual grandfather's ashes. The creators of the show, not the characters.
Oh, that would be a fun thing to have into a sitcom, that the grandfather's spirit had been put into the grandfather clock. And then, like, it's part of their world, but nobody ever realizes or mentions that it's weird. We'll put that into a sitcom we write.
Okay, yeah.
The grandfather clock speaks. And, like, people that come visit will realize it's weird, but the family itself doesn't know. Anyway.
Hold on. I'm so high. All I can think about is your grandfather, like my grandfather going, bong, bong.
For the
Just
rest
shut
of
the fuck
eternity.
up, Grandpa.
It's like, this is what I've been... Yes, I can speak, but only the way a clock can.
What if it's one of those ones with a lot of musical notes?
No, there's totally saccharine shit here where they're sitting around having... They're sitting around having piano sing-alongs in the living room.
Sorry, I'm still on this grandfather clock shit.
They're singing The Whole World in His Hands. Nobody does that. Except for creepy-ass white people on the plains.
I think people that can play piano might.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I like having sing-alongs. We are
I guess
alcohol.
maybe I'm just the white person, and I don't know that maybe this does happen in black families. I don't know. Maybe I'm the ignorant one.
Sometimes we all sing Journey together here.
Let's see. Alright, we're still recording here. Good, it hasn't run out. Oh, I love this. This Indian shot, yep.
Okay, so that last shot is to signify that the family has come together and accepted the situation as it is.
And we can see that they're, I don't know, about what, 2 miles away from downtown. So yeah, they're in the city. They got a park across the field. They're in like the Portlandish part of the city.
I think they're in Beaverton.
I don't think they're that far out. Beaverton's not that built up.
I mean,
It's more
I
suburban.
mean the city in the background. That would be Portland, and then they're in Beaverton.
I gotcha.
I don't know. Okay. Should we pause it and then get to the next step?
We can just we'll keep it recording here while we get to the. Oh, look at that kid with the dope ass Jerry curl.
Oh yeah, the kid is mullet curl.
Yep, they add Jerry Curl kid in there. They add Steve Urkel. It's so weird. They never know.
Sister. It was the other sister that did the porn. It wasn't the one we saw.
They never know how a show's going to turn out when they start it.
No, yeah, the pilot too. You'll lose people right after the pilot, and it'll change. Characters will change, like Joey from fucking Friends. he was like a funny dude, a clever guy in the first season, and he's not like that in the end. In the spin-off.
All right, now we are on Full House.
Our very first show. It's not even called the pilot.
Oh, so it's like a self-reference. They reference the fact that they're making a TV show. I don't know about that. Let's see how much batteries left on this bad boy here. 2 out of 3. This thing eats up batteries big time.
2 out of 3.
What's up, cat? As we wait for this to load. I definitely don't need another dab before the start of this episode. That was going to be my plan, to get extra high before each episode, but that's only 20 minutes. I don't know if I need to get extra high every 20 minutes.
Yeah, I ate a lot of THC oil recently, and it's kicking in.
Now, out of the characters here, who's your least favorite? I do not like DJ's boyfriend there that we see on the right.
Steve?
Yeah.
He voiced Aladdin.
But I don't like DJ. Oh, he did. Wow. I don't like DJ either, though.
I don't like DJ either, but is it because she's Kirk Cameron's sister?
I did not know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a Cameron, isn't she?
I had no idea.
What's her first name, Cameron?
So Stephanie is the middle daughter, right?
Yes, Jodie Sweetin.
I like her. She's
I like
cool.
her, too.
I can take or leave the Olsen twins. I forget Michelle? Is that what the character's name is for them?
Yeah.
The tiniest one? And what's the middle kid? The middle daughter?
Stephanie.
Sorry, I know we just said it.
Wait, what was the oldest one?
DJ.
Okay, so DJ, Stephanie, Michelle. Joey is Dave Coulier.
Yep.
Bob Saget is
Danny Tanner.
Daddy Tanner. And then John Stamos is... I can never think of him because I only think of John Stamos.
Yeah, what is the fucking character's name? Uncle Matt.
Jesse.
Uncle Jesse.
Okay.
Oh, yep, Candace Cameron.
Yep.
Maybe I didn't realize that. Jodie Sweetin. See, she's got attitude.
She had a good meth binge they were going for a while.
See this different opening here? We see them fishing together.
Oh, weird.
And you love
Their fishing hats were
What a
so
great
lame.
fucking intro, man. Like, this theme song is, oh my god, that is some of the worst green screen I've ever seen in my life.
They were riding that fucking streetcar. Oh, look at Jesse getting the women.
Where they showed him on his knees playing guitar and she dances by ballet. That made it look like he's just in his house in his living room, like thrashing out on his knees with his guitar.
This
Which
intro is
you can do
rough.
if you want to. It's just all over the place. Look at the way they're serving the spaghetti. It was dry with no sauce on it yet. They don't know how to. They need to look up on YouTube proper way to make spaghetti. There's a good video where a guy shows you how to add the butter and the olive oil and the sauce while it's still in the pot. Who is this woman? Is this the real estate agent? Oh, a nanny or something?
Grandma.
Oh, grandma. The baby is sleeping like a baby. That's the first joke we got from this show.
It's pretty good. I think I'd never see the grandma again.
Yeah, I don't think they ever... She must die on the way back home.
That would be a great intro, because didn't his wife just die?
Yep. Maybe like right as she walks out of the house, we hear a gunshot, and we're supposed to just understand that she was murdered on the mean streets of San Francisco.
They just stare longingly out the door and then go back to what they're doing.
And Danny chooses to keep it from the girls.
It's time to go home.
Until she returns in Fuller House as a ghost.
It's bothering me that he hasn't pulled his collar out from underneath of his sweater like this. Like,
Well, it's like propped up, like starched. I think that's how they wore it back
I
then.
guess so. You might be right.
Because his sleeves are underneath his sleeves too. And everybody knows the proper way to look spiffy is to fucking pop that shit out and
True.
tuck it around. Well, not tuck it. You know what I'm saying.
Man, Bob Saget's tall. Or that woman's short. I don't know.
I think he's tall. Isn't he like 6'2"-ish at least? He's real skinny too.
Yeah, he's a beanpole. That's for damn sure. Oh, she got such thick hair in her forehead. I bet she sweats a lot during the summer. I bet it's uncomfortable. I know what it's like to have hair like that.
She looks like some kind of terrier from this angle.
It would have been much funnier if he had really pulled on her legs there and she had hit the ground face first. It really set the tone for the rest of the show that Danny Tanner is not to be messed with.
And why she got into meth, the child abuse.
Now, Tanner was the last name of the family in Alf, too. It was a very popular sitcom name back in this part of the 20th century.
Weird. Wait, are you lying?
Nope.
You're making shit up about Alf because I've never seen it.
Willie Tanner and the Tanner family.
Admittedly, this was my favorite show when I was like 5.
I loved it.
Well, like Power Rangers was also my favorite
Oh,
show.
the first couple seasons of Power Rangers, I'd watch at my, I almost said preschool, my daycare, I guess. The place I'd go to before and after elementary school for a couple of years.
Shit, they let you watch that shit in like a social child setting?
And they'd put it on the TV, and whoever wanted to watch it over in the corner could just watch TV.
Oh,
I think we
really?
had some lazy or pretty intelligent
Yeah.
daycare teachers,
Whichever
I
way
guess.
you
Be
wanna
like,
look at
let's
it."
just have half of you watch TV. That hair also looks hot and sweaty.
Oh, John Stamos is fucking...
Oh, man.
It's like a feathered mullet, but it's long. Real long.
Yeah, I just feel like I would constantly be uncomfortable. I tried to grow my hair out, and that's basically what it looked like. See, in the 80s, you could have hair like that, and people didn't think it looked dumb.
That's kind of what my hair looks like right now.
No. His hair is like that weird, like, too thick, sort of like...
It's just the feather that is killing him, I'm telling
I guess
you.
so.
We have the same hair, him
Everywhere
and
you look, everywhere you look, somebody boom, boom, doom.
I didn't know where you were going with it, so I just sounded off.
I can't quite remember all the lyrics.
Okay, so if you thought Family Matters intro was sickly sweet, this entire show
Yeah.
is the most
True.
toothache fucking shit out
That's
there.
true.
And it's good, but like in a terrible way.
Oh, they matched up her little jumpsuit with his shirt there underneath his jacket.
Oh, those 90s, like, what is it, dulled blue, like a powder blue almost.
Oh, Joey. Now see, this made me feel like I was really missing out on having a fun uncle that could live in the basement. I guess it's better that my uncles got to be happily married with families of their own.
And we're miserable trying to be like a comedian and failing.
True. Even as a kid, I hated Joey's comedy.
Oh,
Like,
yes, it's
puppets and shit. I was
it's like really
"You
bad
suck."
Carrot Top.
Yeah. Hack.
Hack. But hey, at least that song Alanis Morissette wrote about him is pretty good.
See, I love Alanis Morissette. People talk shit. I don't know when she became uncool. I don't know when all of a sudden Alanis isn't cool anymore.
I resented her for a long time because when I was a kid and my mom would get angry, she'd play that Jagged Little Pill album over and over again, really, really fucking loudly. But I also know all the words to her songs now. But it's like, she's in like Kevin Smith movies. She played God in Dogma,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is one of my favorite
I
movies.
forgot about that.
I can't hate her. She almost married Ryan Reynolds before Ryan Reynolds married everybody else.
Oh, I remember this scene from like watching this as a kid.
Yeah,
where
when he gets into the nursery.
Jesse gets shown his room for the first time and it's covered in pink bunnies.
So I grew up in a bedroom that had a pink trim and a big pink bird on the wall in my mom's house.
Doesn't he keep it like this through the whole
I believe
series?
he does, yes.
I like that. It's a good choice for on his part.
It makes him seem less douchebaggy. Plus, it matches his shirt, and that blue with that pink together is a really good color combination. Let's face it.
And it's definitely better than he would have chosen some sort of color that looks like a red velvet cake. That sort of deep
With black
red.
trim,
Yeah. Where he brings the lady.
and just like a giant Bon Jovi poster.
So such a another tragic storyline to set up. Like all these people are coming to help his little girls deal with the loss of their mother. It's another like, at least they address it in this show.
Yeah.
Unlike Step by Step, where it's just you're supposed to know that somewhere the ghost of two parents is just wandering around this house,
Haunting these children.
haunting these people, watching that just months after their deaths that both of their spouses have moved on, and maybe those two ghosts start a relationship.
Oh shit!
And there's a whole and in the ghost universe.
Interdimensional Step by Step.
In the ghost universe that you and I can't see, they watch the ghost version of Step by Step, where these two sad ghosts they form a relationship after watching their former families become one.
And then
It's
they
very
adopt
complicated.
ghost children that have no ghost parents. And
Yeah,
they become
and
a
they
little
become
ghost
their-
Brady bunch of Step by Steppers.
And you can always see in the back just a wisp of what's happening in our universe.
Like a dull dream.
What was that fucker's name? The The guy that played the cousin in Step by Step, Cody.
Cody, yes.
I loved that character.
Me too.
He got arrested for like spousal abuse.
Yeah, like 7 or 8 times or some shit.
Well, I don't remember like the number, but then I remember reading an update about the whole thing, and he got found not guilty in court because it was like, I don't remember that. I don't know if I'm completely misremembering this, but basically all this, if I remember correctly, the witness testimony was that basically his former spouse or whatever was like had a mental breakdown and attacked multiple people.
Oh, okay.
And that he like basically
Was defending
fought
himself?
her back, I guess.
Okay,
But
that sounds kind of familiar.
I gotta look it up again.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember being like so let down and hearing that story that he'd been arrested for that as a kid. And
I know, me too. It was like a betrayal because he was the best character, and he's like happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, he
dude.
seemed like such a sweet dude.
And he did it really well. Yeah, but no, he was like in kickboxer movies. He was like a roid head, probably. I'm gonna assume he was a roid head.
Oh yeah. Oh man, the way he talked, I was like, this guy has fun. He lives in a van. My parents must have really worried about me because I aspired to be people like him as a kid. I was like, I want to live in a van in like my uncle's driveway.
Like be happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, I'll just spend all my time. Where is the show even set? Oh, this is not this show, but Step by Step. Probably like Minnesota or some shit like that.
Wait, where is it? Florida?
I don't know.
Trying to picture
doubt
the
it's in
beginning.
Florida. I know this is San Francisco, obviously, and Chicago for Family Matters, but I don't know where we were before that.
I'm gonna try to find it.
Yeah, let's figure it out. It's interesting that they kept the same, that they didn't do a time jump with the babies, with the Olsen twins, that there weren't baby twins for the first season and then suddenly 4-year-olds.
Yeah, like they do in every
so
other
many
sitcom now.
shows. They let them just grow up, you know? He's yelling at a baby.
I'm never gonna figure out where this thing is based.
Days go by, it's the big and loud
God, we need
I'm
to
surprised
record
that
this.
watching this as a kid didn't dissuade me from becoming a stand-up comic, seeing Joey act like this.
No, he is terrible.
That's a pretty good Sprinkler impression. I gotta give it to him.
Yeah. I could definitely blow water out of his mouth. Oh,
Not a bad physical comic, I'll give it to him. But like you said, Carrot Top-esque.
yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's too cheesy. Everything is cheesy.
And it just gets worse, you know, and we must sound like such cynical people to people.
Well, when I was a kid, I hated it too,
With
so I
life,
feel
I
like
suppose.
he's just a little too much.
Yep, I think you're right.
Like, he's that uncle that makes jokes and you hate. I really wish this guy would just shut the fuck up.
It's so, like, man, even bad, like, dad jokes can be so damn funny. It's really hard to make jokes that are just truly depressing and deflate the room. But some people figure out how to do it.
And they make a career out of it.
Oh, look at that little baby. It's so weird that these kids literally grew up on this show.
They talked about them not coming back for the reunion, the Olsen twins, like the new show or whatever, the Fuller House show.
Yeah, fuck that show.
Well, somebody said, and they made a really good point, like they were babies, and then when the show ended, they were like, what, like 5 or 6 or something? And so they don't have the same memories all these other people have, because they were little kids. They don't remember all this shit. Like, they don't care the same way all these guys do.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Plus, they've been all fucked
The
up.
Fuller House, I couldn't believe like how on the nose they were with
Oh,
everything.
my God.
The fact that her name is now Fuller, and that's why it's called Fuller
Oh
House.
my God!
And I was
Everything,
like-
everything about that show is.
And then-
it's like amplified the sickly sweet from the original
Yeah.
Full House by 1,000,000.
There was something else about it that I can't remember.
Cat is tearing apart my couch right
Like, what was DJ's kid's name? There was something about some other, like 2 other characteristics of the show, or like
It's
details of the show where I was like, that's just like a straight up pun.
No, yeah,
or
it's
something
non-stop reference to
Yeah,
the show.
reference to the
It just
show.
doesn't end to the point where they'll like come in and say an old line just right away.
It's so crazy.
Like, that's rude, and everybody laughs, and it's like, hold on, gotta have a conversation about it.
It's very strange to just like come back with a show like that. I don't know. It's just pay somebody to come up with a new goddamn show. There's so many ideas out in the goddamn world. Give me some money. I'll write shit.
I'll do some shit. Yeah, give me money too.
I can certainly write this sort of thing. It would be funny to just take the complete story from this episode, just write it with different character names, and see if you could get it made as a new sitcom.
Oh, you could. Oh, you definitely could. If How I Met Your Mother can be a show after Friends, then you can definitely do that.
And I loved that show, How I Met Your Mother, for the first couple seasons, and then it just
too.
got so like repetitive to me that I just couldn't really fuck with it anymore.
And it was
Just felt like it was the same kind of jokes being repeated about the characters.
Yeah, I think Jason Segel made a point at one point. He's like, "What am I gonna do? Like, get mad because she eats a piece of the wedding cake or something?" And like, or it was something stupid. And then they did that storyline. The writers did it to him.
That's funny.
So yeah, they had some good moments. Like How I Met Your Mother wasn't a bad show, but like you said, it just got so boring.
Yeah. Now, from what I've read, like British sitcoms intentionally don't ever go past like 3 seasons, so they don't have to deal with like going stale and coming up with completely new storylines.
With any sitcom
something
you
like
watch, after 3 seasons, like a laugh track sitcom goes to shit, and it just becomes a cliche and starts going to the
For sure.
stereotypical stories and the tropes. Like even Grounded for Life, which started off being directed in a more unique way than most sitcoms, just by the 3rd season when it hits that syndication, they're just like, fuck it. Regular sitcom for you assholes.
Yep. Now, as much as I love Alf, going back to that, my friend Johnny, who also loves Alf as much as I do, we both grew up watching it, like repeatedly, because our grandparents, well, I think his mom and my grandmother had videotaped a few Alf episodes and left the tapes at our houses when we were little, so we watched a few episodes over and over.
And over, yes. I did this
and
with
just
the
got
Batman
obsessed
show,
with them.
Adam West.
And as a kid, I loved Alf, but I never got to see more than these like 5 or 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Not till it came out on DVD years later did I get to see the whole series. And the 4th season, they had obviously run out of shit to do. And like Willie's brother, you know, the dad's brother comes along, and they're doing like episodes where Alf is like running the Tonight Show. He's having like dreams where he's a night show, like a late
I think
night
I
host.
saw that episode.
Yeah, they're fucking
that sounds
horrible.
very familiar.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of these sitcoms, it's like the first season of Alf and stuff like that, other shows like that that have weird premises, they still try to like ground it in reality, so it feels like it's still following certain rules. But then by like the 4th season of something like that, it's just off the wall.
Yeah,
shit.
because they're trying to escalate everything all
They're doing
the time.
like if you watch the first season of Happy Days, it is pretty grounded, and then you have literally Jumping the Shark a few years later, where Fonzie is fucking doing the fucking thing that made us have that
expression.
That entire expression.
Created an entire expression to let us know that a show had fucking ended already.
Water skiing over a goddamn shark.
Who had that idea?
I don't know.
What if Fonzie water skis over a shark? And nobody was like, what? Like, God, they must have been on so much cocaine. Yeah, that would be dope, bro. I fucking love water skiing, and sharks are scary as shit.
Do that shit.
You gotta see Henry.
It's really fun to like find videos from that time period when you can tell that people are on coke, and that's Paul Fusco, the creator of Alf. There's an episode where a cockroach, a Melmacian cockroach from his spaceship that has crash landed in their garage, gets off the spaceship and gets in their house. And when you spray this thing with earth bug spray, it makes it get bigger. So they spray it a few times and it gets the size of like a dog. And then every poison they try to use on it just makes it get bigger and bigger because the poison feeds this thing. So at the end of the episode, Alf sprays it with perfume and it ends up killing it.
Wow.
And
Perfume is
Paul
poison.
Paul Fusco, the creator, was like in an interview years later, he was like, yeah, that episode I don't really remember writing so much. I was on a bunch of mescaline. And you can really tell in the storyline of the episode. He's like, it really doesn't fit with the rest of the like somewhat lighthearted, yet like the first season of Alf is kind of edgy for what it is, because Alf is like he's a 400-year-old alien. He's a grown man in a little cute alien's body, so he like gets drunk all the time, and he causes mischief around the neighborhood.
And they thought it was going to be a kid's show and stuff.
Yeah, so it's like they softened it up because I guess of like the feedback from the audience. You're like, they even softened his voice up. Alf's voice in the first 2 or 3 episodes is like really rough and blah blah blah, and then it kind of like, hey Alf, blah blah blah, sort of shit.
Oh God.
So they even softened up the voice to make
well,
it.
it's a puppy.
I'm glad they did, because it's kind of weird to see the first few episodes where he's got this gravelly, like...
Yeah, and he sounds all pissed.
He sounds like a cigarette smoker who's been at a bar for the past 28 years.
Literally, because he's immortal, he just hangs out at the bar.
Yeah, just hangs out at the bar decades at a time.
Yeah.
He's almost got those 3 decades in. Let's see, still recording. Yep, still recording.
Still rolling.
T.G.High.F.
So this is Joey's room they're in now. This is basically an
It's just
entire
filled
episode of
with
the
junk.
family moving in.
Yep, they really... See, I like that step by step really just got that out of the way in a couple minutes. Showed us the pig, showed us the truck. We got it.
This show has no drama. There's no conflict in the show. The only thing is that the mom died, and then everything else is just,
Man, but they really went with this. The moving in trope is a huge thing in these sitcoms.
Wait, the what?
The moving in
Oh yeah.
idea.
It's like how every sitcom has begun so
Yeah,
far.
all these ones start by somebody moving into a house. That's how you start a successful sitcom. What is with this statue that is dressed like Joey? Did you see it in the back here?
Did he dress it like himself?
I guess so, but that's weird.
Joey's also kind of dressed like a clown.
It makes me question his sanity a little bit more if he's dressed like... Or if he's dressed a mannequin like himself. See right there?
Yeah, he definitely did.
Or is it a cardboard cutout of himself?
Oh. Wait, no, that's a mannequin.
It's a mannequin.
Yeah,
The
wearing the
fuck?
exact same outfit he's wearing
Yep,
right
khakis and that horrible shirt.
now. His clown shirt.
I bet his khakis are pleated.
And it's got a regular mannequin head with his hair and everything.
So strange. Wonder what he uses that for.
He's so alone.
Crimes of some sort. What'd you say?
Said he's so alone.
She's got fringe on her shirt. Very 90s. Love it.
Did she just give him a roll of cash?
Yep. I think she works at a gas station after school.
Oh, no. Clocks it into
It's
his
such a
job.
funny detail of the show. It's just glossed over in the first episode. The DJ works part-time at a gas station.
She needed to get a job to help support her family after her mom died.
Yeah. She's got she's got a gene issue. She's actually 34 years old. Never aged past this. She's been working at that gas station since she was 16. She's the night manager.
She looks, I hate to say this, she reminds me of the grandma from Goonies in this scene. So, like, it's really spot on right now.
Yeah, some kids look old as shit, man.
She does. It's her hair, too. The 80s weren't helping anybody.
I remember dancing with this girl at a 6th grade dance whose hair was like a middle-aged woman's, like, puffy, poofy haircut. And I just could not get over the fact that she looked 48 years old.
Yeah, you can't stop thinking about it. This has happened to me, too.
I was looking at her while we were dancing like, you don't look like a kid. You look like you're 30 years older than we are.
You're like a professional horse rider.
What did...
I know exactly how you feel.
Oh, shit.
Oh, this is some intense shit.
And I know how much you girls miss your mother.
Oh, it's so sad. It's,
Because I miss her too.
can we, like, It's Always Sunny doesn't make us feel these sort of feelings, you know?
No, yeah, and this is one of the shows that really manipulates it out of you.
The Office doesn't take us to this dark place where people's parents are gone as children.
But I guess this is the conflict, and that's the
Maybe like
thing.
if Pam dies in the ninth season, and we see Jem talking to Cece about how he knows it's hard to grow up without Mama.
Dear God.
This is where we are now.
People, they need to make a movie just of this. People would
He was
fucking die.
on the verge of horrific tears 30 seconds ago. Now he's smiling.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is how they get us, is they give you that little sadness and then they bring us back.
Oh, the darkness that they're dancing on the edge of here. That these, I don't know, man.
No matter how sad you are, everything will be okay. Oh, shit.
I think they're kind of driving it home that Stephanie's too young to really appreciate.
Yeah, she just keeps nodding in the background. She's like, yeah.
Yeah, DJ's old enough to know that their mother's gone, but we got, man.
Oh, my God. Group hug.
Oh, sure, leave the baby out of it. I guess we have to remember that the people listening aren't watching with us, so we can't just stop talking.
We told them when we were watching they can watch if they want.
That's true. If you're watching along, DJ is smiling.
Wait, did we tell them when we were watching?
I don't think we mentioned
Did we
when
just
we were
talk
actually.
about
I think
it?
we
Yeah.
just started it with this one. Just kind of started then. But Danny is hugging Jesse right now. Well, not really hugging him. He's got his arm around him. They're looking down at the baby. There's a point. Now they've separated.
Oh shit! This is the part.
Oh, the Flintstones. Is this the part you were looking for?
No, this is the classic ending of the episode where they all start singing together,
Story.
and they've all accepted that the mom is dead and gone.
Remember they sing this in that Office episode on the work van?
Oh yeah.
I love that. Oh no, it's not in the work van. It's on the way back from
The fire, the fucking coals, foot coals, right?
the what? When they takes them to the lake.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I said the foot coals.
Oh, gotcha.
When Pam walks over the
I don't
coals.
know what you were talking about.
Yeah, I was mumbling and babbling.
All right, and that concludes that episode of Full House, and that concludes the first episode of T.G.High.F.
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 Hef.
Hef.